Ladies and gentlemen, this ceremony will begin in 5 minutes. Also, if First Sergeant Massey is here, Sergeant First Class Tate, or Staff Sergeant Wurgler, please come to the podium. Thank you.
Oh, what's going on? It'll be about.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin momentarily. We ask that all photographers remain behind the first row seating and that all electronic devices are turned off or set to silent mode. One more alibi is if First Sergeant Massey is here or Staff Sergeant Workler, please come back to the narrator's podium. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony is about to begin. Please be seated. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Commanding General and the Command Sergeant Major of the Fire Center of Excellence in Fort Sill, Major General Phil Brooks and Command Sergeant Major Neil Sartain, welcome to this afternoon's retirement ceremony. Today, we gather to recognize a special group of soldiers and Department of the Army civilians for their commitment and sacrifice throughout their many distinguished years of service. At this time, we would like to extend a sincere welcome to our distinguished guests. Joining us this afternoon are Brigadier General Curtis King, Commandant of the United States Army Air Defense Artillery School and Deputy Commanding Officer, United States Army Fire Center of Excellence in Fort Sill, and his wife King. The Honorable Shireen L. Williams, Councilwoman, Lawton City Council, Ward 7. And Command Sergeant Major Giancarlo Macri, Command Sergeant Major of the United States Army Air Defense Artillery School. Thank you for attending. For the sequence of events, please refer to your program. At this time, we would like to recognize our former military or civilian retirees who may be attending today's ceremony. We ask that any retirees in attendance, if they could, please stand and be recognized. Don't be shy. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the colors, the invocation presented by Chaplain Woods, and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem.
March.
Let us pray. Good and gracious Father, I thank you for this time of celebration for these great men and women as they finalize their military careers. Thank you for their lifelong commitment of service to God, country, and their fellow men. Their selfless service and sacrifice will be remembered for many years to come. Lord, I pray your richest blessings and favor upon these retirees as they walk new paths, explore new horizons, and journey new adventures. Let all of us gathered here today be inspired by their careers and achievements. May we seek to excel in our remaining time in uniform or civilian service, to be examples of integrity and excellence, and to also finish the course as well as they have done. Finally, I pray that you will bless this ceremony and time of celebration. In your precious name I pray, amen.
Reset. Arms.
Please be seated.
Order. Arms. Parade. Right.
Participating in today's ceremony are the Pride of Fort Sill, the 77th United States Army Band under the direction of Staff Sergeant Grant Boyd, the Drum Major, Staff Sergeant Robert King. The installation color guard is provided by the 434 Field Artillery Brigade. The color sergeant is Drill Sergeant Carter Abril. The Fort Sill Artillery Half Section and the new Mule Team. The Chief of the Section, Mrs. Laura Armstrong. The Honor Guard Commander for today's ceremony is Captain Matthew McCurry, the Field Artillery Captain's Career Corps Small Group Instructor. Our guest speaker for today's ceremony received his commission in the year 2000 as a Field Artillery Officer through the ROTC program at Texas A&M University. He has served with distinction at all levels of leadership, throughout his Army career. He currently serves as the Director of Training and Doctrine at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Colonel Jason Tolbert.
Can everybody hear me okay? Brigadier General King, Command Sergeant Major Macri, distinguished guests, fellow service members, friends, and families. First, it's an absolute honor to be your guest speaker today. And of course, since we live in Oklahoma, we must make a remark on the weather. Knowing full well that, well, it's Oklahoma weather and I don't want to jinx it. I think we're doing pretty good right now. I want to give a special thank you to the 77th Band, the Color Guard, and the Half Section. Your participation in these ceremonies is always on point and adds a touch of tradition and nostalgia for us all. And what a privilege it is to share this special occasion with you, commemorating your final milestone of military service and civil service. What brings us together here today is to celebrate and honor these remarkable individuals and their families, all of whom represent a collective legacy of service, sacrifice, and dedication. Today we pay tribute to you, the men and women who have chosen to serve our nation with unwavering commitment. The ceremony represents the final milestone in a long career of service, an poignant moment in your life as a service member. It marks the end of an era filled with challenges, opportunities, triumphs, commitment to duty, and the bonds that you have forged through your shared hardships and camaraderie. And with this ceremony, you celebrate not only your accomplishments, but also the enduring spirit of the military community and our traditions that sustain us all. As we stand in the presence of these remarkable retirees, each with his or her own unique journey and contributions, is a reminder of the diverse cross-section of our society that makes up our armed forces. Different backgrounds, walks of life, and experiences, these men and women have come together in service to a common cause, defending our nation and upholding the values that we hold dear. This is the strength of our Army, dedicated service towards a common objective. This will defend. Throughout your careers, each of you have faced adversity with courage, displayed leadership with humility, and demonstrated unwavering commitment to duty. You have served in times of peace and in times of conflict, answering the call to protect our freedoms and uphold the principles upon which our nation was founded. This is no trivial statement, as we all know, because what is embedded in that statement of served in times of peace and conflict, answering the call to protect our freedoms and principles upon which our nation was founded, is a profound sense of purpose and sacrifice that few outside of service know. But you did not shoulder that burden alone. Behind every service member, there is an incredible network of support, families, friends, and loved ones who have stood by their side. They have embraced and persevered through the challenges and sacrifices of military life. To the spouses, children, and parents here today, we express our deepest gratitude for your unwavering support and sacrifice. Your strength and resilience have been the foundation upon which has enabled these retirees to serve with distinction. And we honor your contributions as well. If you would, please give a round of applause to the family. As you transition into the next phase of your lives, I know that you will carry with you the experience of both success and failure, the friendships forged along the way, and the memories cherished from your time in uniform and in service. Though you may no longer wear that uniform, your commitment to service and your dedication to making a difference will continue to inspire those that follow in your footsteps. I offer to you my heartfelt congratulations on reaching this significant milestone, and our sincere thanks and appreciation. Your service has left an indelible mark on our Army, and those that you have led, your legacy will endure as a testament to the values you embody. And as you embark on this new chapter of your lives, may you find fulfillment, joy, purpose in all your endeavors. But I ask one more task of you, that each of you fully have faithfully served, fully have vested in Army values, the warrior ethos, and the oaths that you have faithfully served. I ask that you continue to make a difference in our society. Our communities, institutions, and our youth need experienced mentors and leaders such as yourselves to guide them in the years to come. closing, let us remember that while today marks the end of one chapter, it also signifies the beginning of a new journey filled with endless possibilities. Together, let us celebrate the achievements of our retirees and honor the enduring legacy of service that binds us as members of the military community. Congratulations to you all, and thank you for your selfless dedication to our nation. Godspeed, and may your futures be as bright as the path that you have paid for others to follow. Fire strong.
Today, we are privileged to recognize our retirees for their loyal and faithful service. Colonel Tolbert will present each retiree with their end of service award and a retirement certificate, certifying that each retiree has served faithfully and honorably. Additionally, each retiree will receive a certificate of appreciation signed by the President of the United States, the Commanding General's coin for excellence, and a case flag provided by the Fort Sill Retiree Council for a coveted Fires Afghan in honor of their service. Each retiree spouse will be presented a single flower along with a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army in honor of their faithful, unselfish, and devoted service. Finally, First Sergeant Katayashop will present the retiree's children with a military brat certificate, thanking them for their continued support, which reflects their bravery, resilience, adaptability, and teamwork, creating the acronym BRAT and making them all true Army brats. Our first two honored retirees are a married couple, Mrs. Kay Bowen, accompanied by her husband, Mr. William Green. Mrs. Bowen came into federal service in August of 2010 and recently served with the Fires Battle Lab. She is proud of her impact on Army programs supporting current and future warfighters. Following her retirement, she plans to travel with her husband, start a garden, and spend a lot of time with her granddaughter. The Meritorious Civilian Service Medal is awarded to Mrs. Bowen for exceptionally meritorious service of over 14 years, culminating as the lead computer scientist for the Fires Capability Development Integration Directorate. Her exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon her, the Army Futures Command, and the United States Army. Signed, D. Scott McCain, Lieutenant General, United States Army Deputy Commanding General. Mr. Green is receiving a mug as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Mr. Green came into federal service in August of 2009 and recently served with the Fires Battle Lab. He is proud of his contributions to the future of fires. Following his retirement, he plans to spend more time with his family. The Meritorious Civilian Service Medal is awarded to Mr. Green for exceptionally meritorious service of over 15 years, culminating as the Information Technology Specialist for the Data Manager at the Fires Lab. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Army Futures Command, and the United States Army. Signed, D. Scott McCain, Lieutenant General, United States Army Deputy Commanding General. Mrs. Bowen is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mrs. Kay Bowen, retired, and Mr. William Green, retired. retiree is Mr. Kenneth Person, accompanied by his wife, Cindy. Mr. Person came into federal service in April 2005 and recently served with the Mission Support Division in the Fires Capability Development Integration Directorate. He is proud of his children and grandchildren. Following his retirement, he plans to travel. The Meritorious Civilian Service Medal is awarded to Mr. Person for exceptionally meritorious service of over 20 years. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Army Futures Command, and the United States Army. Signed, David M. Hoding, Lieutenant General, United States Army, Commanding. Mrs. Person is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Kenneth Person, retired, and family. Our next honored retiree is First Sergeant Joshua Lewis, accompanied by his wife Erin, his mother-in-law Susan, and his children Joshua and Addison. First Sergeant Lewis came into military service in July of 2004 and recently served with Headquarters Battery 5-5 Air Defense Artillery Battalion. He is proud of his family and making it to 20 years and accomplishing the rank of First Sergeant. Following his retirement, he plans to seek employment related to his degree. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to First Sergeant Lewis for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as a First Sergeant. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the 32nd Army Air Missile Defense Command, and the United States Army. Signed, Richard A. Harrison, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Mrs. Lewis is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. First Sergeant Lewis's children are now being presented with their Army grad certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you First Sergeant Retired Joshua Lewis and family. Our next honored retiree is Master Sergeant Christopher Gates, accompanied by his wife Christina and his children Anthony, Annalise, and Andrea.
Yeah, buddy.
Master Sergeant Gates came into military service in June of 2004 and recently served with the 30th Air Defense Artillery Brigade. He is proud of his beautiful family for their support during his Army career. Following his retirement, he plans to build fast streetcars and continue training future short-range air defenders. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Master Sergeant Gates for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as the 30th Air Defense Artillery Brigade Operations Sergeant Major. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence, and the United States Army. Signed, Winston P. Brooks, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Mrs. Gates is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Master Sergeant Gates' children are being presented with the Army Brat Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Master Sergeant Retired Christopher Gates and family. Our next honored retiree is Sergeant First Class Brent Barnes, accompanied by his mother Bonita and his children Gracelyn and Brent. Sergeant First Class Barnes came into military service in October of 2001 and recently served with the 100th Brigade Support Battalion. He is proud of his children. Following his retirement, he plans to open up a business. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Sergeant First Class Barnes for exceptional meritorious service of over 22 years, culminating as a Network Systems Platoon Sergeant. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, 3rd Armored Corps, and the United States Army. Signed, Thomas M. Felty, Major General, United States Army, Deputy Commanding General. Sergeant First Class Barnes' mother is receiving a flower as a token of gratitude. Sergeant First Class Barnes' children are now being presented with the Army Brat Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sergeant First Class Retired Brent Barnes and family. Our next honored retiree, Sergeant First Class Jesse Preseno III, accompanied by his wife, Altagracia, and his children, Angelina and Jacob. Sergeant First Class Preseno came into military service in August of 2000 and recently served with the Department of Training and Development. He is proud of being finally retired. Following his retirement, he plans to go fishing and spend time with his family. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Sergeant First Class Preseno for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as the 13 Juliet Senior Training Developer. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence, and the United States Army. Signed, Winston P. Brooks, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Mrs. Braceno is now receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Sergeant First Class Braceno's children are being presented with the Army Brat Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sergeant First Class Retired Jesse Braceno III and family. Our next honored retiree is Sergeant First Class Dusty Clevenger, accompanied by his mother and father and his children Casey and Kendall. Sergeant First Class Clevenger came into military service in September of 2003 and originally served with the 100th Brigade Support Battalion. He is proud of being a father and soldier. Following his retirement, he plans to seek a career in law enforcement. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Sergeant First Class Clevenger for exceptional meritorious service of over 21 years, culminating as Battalion Sexual Assault Response Coordinator, Master Fitness Trainer, and Small Group Leader. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence, and the United States Army. Signed, Winston P. Brooks, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Sergeant First Class Clevenger's children are being presented with the Army Brat Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sergeant First Class Retired Dusty Clevenger and family. Our next honored retiree, Sergeant First Class Keith Hall, accompanied by his wife Sarah and his children Emma and Avery. Sergeant First Class Hall came into military service in March of 2003 and recently served with the Department of Training Development. He is proud of training soldiers in Hawaii. Following his retirement, he plans to become a high school history teacher. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Sergeant First Class Hall for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as a senior training developer. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence, and the United States Army. Signed, Winston P. Brooks, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Mrs. Hall is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Sergeant First Class Hall's children are being presented with their Army Brat Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sergeant First Class Retired Heath Hall and family. Our next honored retiree is Sergeant First Class James McCrary, accompanied by his wife Ashley and his children Aubrey and Connor. Sergeant First Class McCrary came into military service in April of 2004 and recently served with the Headquarters Battery, 3rd Battalion, 2nd Air Defense Artillery. He is proud of leading America's sons and daughters during the global war on terrorism. Following his retirement, he plans to maximize time with his children and catch up on his wife's honey to-do list. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Sergeant First Class McCrary for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as a Battalion Operations Non-Commissioned Officer in charge. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the 32nd Army Air Missile Defense Command, and the United States Army. Signed, Richard A. Harrison, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Mrs. McCrary is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Sergeant First Class McCrary's children are being presented with the Army Brat Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sergeant First Class Retired James McCrary and family. Our next honored retiree is Sergeant First Class Mark Tate. Sergeant First Class Tate came into military service in September of 2003 and recently served with the Reynolds Army Health Clinic. He is proud of instructing over 2,000 Special Forces medics. Following his retirement, he plans to become an instructor at the Special Warfare Center and School. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Sergeant First Class Tate for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as a Medical Laboratory Non-Commissioned Officer. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Army Medical Department, and the United States Army. Signed, E. Darren Cox, Brigadier General, United States Army, Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sergeant First Class Retired Mark Tate and family. Our next honored retiree is Staff Sergeant Wesley Crawford, accompanied by his wife Ella and his children Wesley and Xander. Staff Sergeant Crawford came into military service in June of 2004 and recently served with Alpha Battery, 1st Battalion, 78th Field Artillery. He is proud of having the honor of serving with such amazing people. Following his retirement, he plans to take a well-deserved vacation and then continue working. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Staff Sergeant Crawford for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as a firefinder radar instructor and battery operations non-commissioned officer. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence in the United States Army. Signed, Winston P. Brooks, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Mrs. Crawford is receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Staff Sergeant Crawford's children are being presented with the Army Grant Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Staff Sergeant Retired Wesley Crawford and family. Our last honored retiree is Staff Sergeant Ricardo Rios, accompanied by his wife Claudia and his daughter Donna. Staff Sergeant Rios came into military service in June of 2004 and recently served with the Headquarters Battery 434 Field Artillery Brigade. He is proud of his wife and daughter retiring from the Army and mentoring the next generation of soldiers as a drill sergeant. Following his retirement, he plans to move to El Paso, Texas. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Staff Sergeant Rios for exceptional meritorious service of over 20 years, culminating as a drill instructor. His exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication to duty reflect great credit upon him, the Fire Center of Excellence in the United States Army. Signed, Winston P. Brooks, Major General, United States Army, Commanding. Mrs. Rios is now receiving a single flower as a token of gratitude and a certificate of appreciation signed by the Chief of Staff of the Army. Staff Sergeant Rios' daughter is now being presented with her Army Grant Certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Staff Sergeant Retired Ricardo Rios and family. At this time, could I kindly ask that each retiree please stand and face the audience. You are now one of us. Please join me in a round of applause in honor of today's retiree. Distinguished retirees, we are grateful for your service and contributions to the United States Army. You will be missed, but rest assured, there are other Americans who will stand up and meet the challenges of tomorrow.
Detachment. Attention.
Honored retirees, your replacements have arrived. These soldiers are currently in week 3 of basic combat training. Like each of you did many years ago, these soldiers have sworn to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and have chosen to live by the Soldier's Creed.
The Soldier's Creed! I am an American soldier! I am a warrior and a member of a team! I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values! I will always place the mission first! I will never accept defeat! I will never quit! I will never leave a fallen comrade! I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills. I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I am an expert and I am a professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat. I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we honor today's retirees and remain standing for the playing of the Army song and the retiring of the colors.
Sir, this concludes today's ceremony.
Left.
Right turn. March. Hold.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please take a moment to thank today's honored retirees and their families for their loyal and faithful service. Fire strong, people first. Winning matters. Soldier for life. Be all you can be.